overtime right here with Athletic Director Roman Banks. A closer look at Jaguar Athletics right here from Scoreboards Restaurant. Another exciting edition of that, and we cannot wait. I think we're getting pampered tonight. We always have the bread pudding, but even
we got a surprise tonight, huh?
We're going to take it up a notch, too. All right, we have breaking news that, of course, we want to talk to you about that, and it involves Coach Dawson Odoms and the football program. You wanted to make an announcement tonight.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. So we're fortunate. I know it's been a long time coming, but, you know, it takes a little while to work these budgets and these details out. So as we go to Shreveport, the board meeting, then we're able to bring a recommendation, the president and I, to the board to extend Coach Odoms' contract. So we're very excited about that.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Coach Dawson Odoms has brought this program back to where it is competing for the West Championship every single year, and then obviously this year at Alcorn State for the championship. And we can't say it enough, only 9 players. You very rarely see that in football. 9 players graduate. That means a big nucleus of your team is coming back next year.
No question about it. With the team coming back and with the recruiting class we had, and some polls rated as the #1 historical black college recruiting class, then that's awesome for itself. And that's the bloodline of having a good team to be able to recruit and redshirt people and be able to bring some people in to plug in to play right away. So I think he's excited about that. But I think when you start talking about coaches and the hiring practices, that's something that I don't like doing, because you bring these people in, we spend so much time together, the kids, you see them grow up, and you become this huge family. And no question about it, I like to operate it under the essence of a family-type atmosphere in the athletic department. And so what he has gone through with the unusual data ban, and we didn't have the practice times, no spring practice, limited number of scholarships, and to stay right there as one of the better teams in the league, I think it speaks volumes for the confidence that the players have in him, and it speaks to his leadership. And so now I think you will see a chance for our program to go to another level. He had spring practice for the first time, and you see we was able to do a little better. So I just think that our timing is right. I think that we have to be ready to reward people for being faithful to the university, and he has shown himself faithful, sticking with the university through tough times.
And you two mirror each other, both interim athletic director, interim coach, and then he's very appreciative that you gave him that first chance to be a head coach, and now you have the first chance of being athletic director as well. So he's very appreciative of that. So I think it's going to be all forward looking. I think it's going to be great. We got 2 young quarterbacks, sophomores.
Right.
And that's the key right there.
Well, I think when you start talking about our athletic department and the head coaches, I think right now we're in a great space. I think as we are coming into our own as it relates to get scholarships back, practice time back, and we understand the mission. And the mission is not about one person, it's about all of us. And it's about representing Southern University at a higher level. And that's my expectations of our athletic department, and it starts with me. And so if you're not happy about coming to work every morning, you're in the wrong place.
That's exactly right, big time. And of course, too, we'll talk to Coach Odoms next week. He'll be here a special time at 12 noon. We're going to broadcast right here from Scoreboards Restaurant, a special early broadcast here at 12 noon. All the coaches will be here as well?
Yeah, so everybody come in and mingle with lunch with all the coaches in the athletic department. We'll be, doing this thing live at 12 noon. And so we invite all the fans out to come have lunch with us. And afterwards, we'll all be going over to LSU to watch Coach Jackson and his team take on, LSU over the hump.
Now, speaking of that, obviously we just played against Air Force there at Alex Box Stadium. Talk about that experience as Southern University plays there. Not playing against the Tigers and not at an NCAA tournament. It was weird. It was against Air Force, but LSU was so great hospitality, so generous to let us be there.
Well, I think that all the coaches and starting with the athletic administration and all the coaches at their particular sports work well with us. And we are all fortunate to have a great relationship with the athletic department at LSU. And I think that Coach Jackson really has a great working relationship with baseball. And it gives us a chance where where we don't have the bigger budgets all the time to do what we need to do, where we can take advantage of something like a home game over at LSU. I mean, and so this is working well for us, but obviously the next match will be against them, and so it'll be a little different.
Off to an impressive 3-1 start. Coach Jackson and the crew are doing a superb job. They will play this weekend against Northwestern in Natchez, Louisiana.
Yeah. So hopefully we don't have any rain issues.
Right.
But we are there for 3 games: Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we come back for a midweek game against over at LSU.
Now, obviously, I got the big word there was a Roman Banks sighting in Los Angeles, California. What the heck? Was there a star there on Hollywood Boulevard?
I wish it was, but it wasn't for me, that's for sure. But no, we were fortunate. The LA chapter, Camille Mayo, who was a former athlete and represent the school very well, and had their fundraiser, the LA chapter, and they call it Mardi Gras in LA or something like that.
Oh, cool.
And so we were able to go and partake in their fundraiser, which they do a good job of helping not just the university but athletics. And one thing that I do believe in, and that request for the athletic department has been for the last few years. And so anytime I call on that chapter and other chapters, they answer the bell. So I just think it's very important for me to show ourselves friendly back. Mm-hmm. And just our presence of going was one to say that we appreciate everything that y'all have done to help this athletic department. And Dr. Belton's presence was to say we thank you for helping the university.
Yes, indeed.
And so we were able to take our, the chair of our system, Attorney Rutledge, and we all were there and show our appreciation for what that chapter and what it means to Southern University for them helping us in recruiting and doing other things. And I say that in kind because there are other chapters that do a great job in helping athletics. And so my tour is just beginning. And so I plan on showing up with different coaches to make sure that we show our appreciation. And once again, thank you all for all the help that you all give Southern University Athletics.
No question about that. This is Overtime with Athletic Director Roman Banks, a closer look at Jaguar Athletics. When we come back, we're going to take a closer look at bowling. We'll do that when we return right here from Scoreboard's Restaurant. I'm Chris Powers, right here on Pelican Sports TV.
We're a nation of hardworking Americans, and businesses will always be the lifeline of this great country. As a business owner, you understand the importance of your reputation. In times of uncertainty, you need a real lawyer who's serious about protecting you and your business. You need a problem solver. You need the law firm of Clayton and Fruget. Tony Clayton is a proven trial lawyer. He'll defend you and your business to the fullest extent of the law. Protect your investment and call the law firm of Clayton and Fruget today.
It's game day. A day that should be spent in the living room, not the kitchen. So next game, you just worry about the score, because we've got the food covered. With hand-battered, cooked-to-order, always fresh, never ever frozen chicken fingers, craveable cane sauce, crispy crinkle-cut fries, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, official chicken of Southern University. One love.
Grand Cherokees, we'd rather sell them than move them.
It's Salisbury's Move and Sale and Jeep Adventure Days.
Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo, $27,990.
With Power Group backup camera, keyless entry, and Uconnect.
Get them now at Salisbury's Chrysler,
Dodge,
Jeep,
and Ram in Baton Rouge.
Buddies, talking about buddies. You just can't lock 'em out, buddies. your day. Buddies, you can't deny 'em. Buddies, you just can't buy 'em. You whatever comes your way. Buddies are here to stay.
Want to know all the teams?
All right, welcome back, everybody. And we're right here at the Scoreboards Restaurant. Before we get to a video we've got right here, I want to introduce Coach Rose Fogg, the Southern bowling coach. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Great to have you here. Now, tell
Thank
everybody
you.
where you're from.
I'm originally from New Orleans.
From
I'm
New
born
Orleans.
and raised there and lived in Slidell for a little while before I got the job here. Once I got the job, I moved on over.
Cool deal. So it's not that big of a move.
Oh, no.
Straight down the I-10.
Yeah, 90 miles or so.
There you go. All right. Well, next week, Southern Bowling will host the 2019 SWAC West Roundup at All-Star Lanes, and Coach Rose Fogg and the Jaguars are looking to return the program to Providence. Here's this week's Inside the Southern program featuring the Southern Bowling program. Let's take a look at the video.
I think one of the things that makes Southern University Bowling unique is the fact that you have a collegiate bowling team on the HBCU campus. Southern University Bowling started around the early 2000s under then athletic director Floyd Kerr, and it was one of those movements that took place where the NCAA was looking into adding an additional sport mainly for women's collegiate athletics, and bowling kind of came about, and Southern University started its bowling team around that time, and Karen Couvion was our first head coach, and up until recently was our only head coach. And the bowling program, for being so young and fairly new, had early success and was very formidable in the SWAC, won several SWAC championships and actually competed on a national level.
Southern's won SWAC. The previous coach, in 16 years' time, she won SWAC 8 of the 16 years, and then came in either second or a close third the years that she didn't win first place. When I took over the program, we really didn't have the quality bowlers that we needed. I hope that in the future that it just gets bigger and better, and that we do more than just SWAC teams. I'm hoping to see some of the other local teams close by and be competitive against them also.
So for the bowling program, its history, its early stages signify just that they were successful and that they competed for championships year in and year out.
See, I don't bowl much, but I can tell you what, I want one of those bowling balls got the Southern logo on it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well.
Are all teams have that?
Not all of the teams do, but the bowling balls usually only last a year or two, so
Right.
they would rather have a plastic ball that'll last a little bit longer. But I really think that it brings a little honor to the teams. You know, that
Yeah, I like that.
It makes them proud to be able to throw a ball that has their school logo on it.
I like that. The Mardi Gras Challenge is coming up again at All-Star Lanes right there on Airline Highway. Tell us about that. What teams are coming?
We have 6 teams coming, including ours. FAMU, Florida A&M, Jackson State, Alabama A&M, Grambling, and Southern will be there.
It's going to be awesome. And fans could go there. Tell us, what are the dates that are going to be?
It'll be March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And we generally, on Friday, we start around 9 o'clock and we'll bowl to around 3:30 in the afternoon. Saturday, same thing, 9 o'clock till 3:30. Sunday, we start a little earlier, probably closer to 8 o'clock, and we finish around 2.
Now, when the meet's happening like this, is it like league play to where Southern's on one lane, one team's on the other lane, or what have you, or do they go head-to-head on each lane?
They're head-to-head on each lane. You'll have 2 teams bowling on one pair, and then 2 teams on another pair,
Okay, cool.
and then 2 teams on the last pair. And we do Bakers the first day, we do regular games the second day, and then we do Baker again on the 3rd day.
Gives you a chance to know what your competition is doing right next to you and all that kind of
Right,
good stuff.
right.
And know, hey, I've got to get this. I've got to get a strike, or I've got to pick up
Correct.
the spear and what have you. And then, so right after you're done with that, you're at the HBCU Classic on the 15th. Is that right,
Correct.
in Mississippi?
Yes, we're going to D'Iberville, Mississippi for the HBCU tournament. It's their first one, but they're telling us it's going to be an awesome tournament. So we're looking forward to it.
And then also, too, not long after that, it's the SWAC
The following week is SWAC Championship.
in Arlington, Texas, too.
Correct.
Right outside of Dallas.
Yes, and we go every year.
Right.
So,
Is it all the teams get to go?
nope.
Also, it's what, 8?
Top 6.
Top
Out
6.
Of, there's 7 teams and only 6 get to go.
Okay, interesting.
So-
Well, tell us about your team this year. What do you like about your team?
Well, I have several girls that are, all of the girls are really good. I have 1 senior, I have 2 juniors, I have 3 sophomores, no freshmen.
And I notice a lot of Louisiana flavor, too. You got a lot of Louisiana flavor there.
Half the team is from this area. I have 1 girl from Baker, I have 1 girl from Baton Rouge, I have 1 girl from Central, I have a girl from Florida, and 2 girls from Texas.
How many teammates can you have on the team? How many players can you have on the team?
Well, we play with 5, but we can have 8 to 10 team members.
So you'll be starting recruiting. When is your recruiting period?
Well, I've already done some recruiting. It just depends on, we had a tournament Cat Cup in Houston that I went to, and I saw several girls there. I try to recruit locally because with TOPS and scholarships,
Sure.
they get it's easier for them. There's no out-of-state fees when you're from the state of Louisiana.
Right.
So it makes for a better team.
Now, how does it also feel that Athletic Director Roman Banks has gotten this program going to where every team, every sport gets to compete for a SWAC championship, and then possibly, who knows, maybe even go to the NCAA tournament later on?
Yeah, well, especially with bowling now, the way they have bowling set up, whoever wins SWAC championship has a berth to go into the national championship.
And where would that be?
I'm not sure.
No, not sure.
Yeah.
You know, I was telling you off air that I had no idea Nebraska was so dominant in that sport. I watched the Real Sports and I loved it. I watched it twice, in fact, on that particular story because I thought it was very interesting.
Right. Well, Nebraska is really big, and McKinley is new to NCAA, and they're very strong also. They were in the collegiate programs, but now they're doing NCAA, and they're very strong also.
How do you put your lineup up when it comes to a meet like this? We're going to get the Mardi Gras Challenge. First of all, do you put your best player first, or do you mix it in? How do you mix that in?
Usually your best player is your last player. Your
Okay.
second best player is your first player, because that way you want a good leadoff person, so that person makes a strike and everybody wants to follow suit.
Now, how many players can play on a meet at a given time? Is all 6?
All of the players can play, but only 5 at one period
Okay.
of time. So each match, I put 5 players in, not necessarily the same 5 players every time. I can also swap a player out. If I have a player who's having a tough game, having a hard time, I can take her out and put someone else in.
Talking to Coach Rose Fogg of the bowling team. Can fans come to the All-Star lanes?
Oh, most
on our line
definitely.
And be able to watch? Is it a good area?
Yes,
Or do they sit right behind the team? or-
They'll sit behind, no, we have a certain area just for the players, and then the tables behind that, there's plenty of room for everybody to come and watch.
Coach Fogg, first time I get the opportunity to meet you. Nice
Thank
to
you,
meet
it's nice meeting you too.
All right, when we come back, we're talking Lady Jaguar basketball right here as we continue with the Overtime Show with Coach Roman Banks right here from a Scoreboard Show. Remember, next week, 12 noon, right here, 12 noon Wednesday, we'll have that so we can be at the LSU Southern game on that day. Back in a moment with Pelican Sports TV.
Family road trips just got a whole lot easier. The 2018 Nissan Rogue. Now with Nissan Intelligent Mobility, featuring technologies like available ProPilot Assist, which helps keep an eye on the road ahead and helps you stay centered while you're turning this lane into memory lane. Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
CareSouth offers a wide range of comprehensive medical, behavioral health, and dental services. On behalf of the staff and board of directors, we want to thank the parish of Ascension, East Baton Rouge, and Iberville for allowing us to serve you. Come out to any of our locations where family is serving families.
I can still remember Charlotte's first day of kindergarten like it was yesterday. Now, she's heading off to college.
So how are you feeling?
I'm nervous. I'm also really excited.
You know you're the first McKernan to not go to LSU in decades. Promise me this, you'll wear purple and gold at all the UT football games.
Dad.
Letting go isn't easy, especially for this Louisiana dad, but our children know family is always there for them. Just like when our clients come to us for help, they'll always be part of the Get Gordon family. We want to be your lawyers for life.
Call 888-8888.
Preparing a meal. It's a lot like preparing for a game. It involves hard work, the right plan, and attention to detail. Great food, that's our passion. A taste of Louisiana, handcrafted from scratch. Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Home, away, any game day. At Walk-Ons, we'll help you do game day right.
What's the most important aspect of event hosting? Location. This is something that Bell knew from day one. That's why we're located in downtown Baton Rouge, across from the convention center, close to LSU, and right by the river. So with a friendly staff, award-winning cuisine, and a massive conference center of 10 rooms and 24,000 square feet capable of fitting more than 2,000 guests, what we offer is just as important as where we are.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's the overtime with Coach Roman Banks, and we're right here live from Scoreboard's Restaurant, and we are talking basketball. Got Coach Fungus with us right here. How you doing, my
good
man?
to see you, Chris.
Good to see you, my friend. Number one, first place in the conference.
Trying to hang on.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. You going back and forth with the Lady Panthers of Prairie View A&M, but they have been on a losing streak now, and now you're back into first place by your lonesome at a record of 10-3 in conference play. And it started with the UAPB Golden Lionettes, I think is what they call themselves.
That's them.
And Coach, I'm noticing one thing, the trend that's been happening here for your games is defensively you're good in the first half. But in the second half, you are suffocating in the second half, and both of these wins that you've had on the road at UAPB and Valley, your defense was suffocating in the second half.
Well, I thought the girls did a good job coming out, applying pressure and creating some turnovers and getting some easy buckets. And, you know, you can't rely on your half-court offense to score all your buckets in a game. So you want to put some pressure on them, get some turnovers, and get some easy buckets.
Now, they scored 20-6. They outscored you in the second quarter. But come now in the third quarter, you outscored them. That was the big deal for you, 24-9. But not only that, Coach, in the second half, they only shot 18% from the field. So you really buckled them down.
Well, we didn't do a good job starting the game off. I didn't think we were mentally focused and ready to go. But as the game went on, I thought, especially in the second half, after I gave them a little talk, you know, and told them we got to get focused. You can't go out and expect to just walk into a game and win. But we did a much better job in the second half.
In the second half, you only allowed them 4 for 25 in shooting.
We did a great job defensively and also rebounding the basketball. When you're on the road, like they say, defense travels, and you have to play great defense.
And that's exactly what you did. And usually when you outscore your team in bench points, you easily win. But you didn't do that in this game. They outscored you 34-22, and it also points to the paint. They outscored you 16-12. But again, that defense was key in winning that basketball game.
Well, I think one thing we didn't do well was score right around the basket early in the game. And, you know, that showed up in the stat sheet. But in the second half, we got some easy buckets. We had some good looks in the first half, but we didn't do a good job converting those buckets. So we talked about it at halftime, came out with a lot better energy and you know, put the game away pretty much in the third quarter.
And you had 3 players that scored in double digits. Alaric Scott, 12 points. Skylar Bear, 10 points. And
Tanira Moore.
She is unbelievable, Coach. She is now showing up big time in scoring.
She is going to be a tremendous player for us. She's doing a great job. She's a freshman. Matter of fact, we put her in the starting lineup the following game, but she's going to be a player that's going to make her mark here at Southern University.
She wears number 22, and also another player I love watching is Lyric Scott. She flies all over. She sacrifices her body every time, all over, diving for balls, everything.
One thing you know about her, Chris, she's going to give you everything she has each and every game. So, you know, she sets the tone for us. She has some toughness with her. And she's going to push the basketball when she rebounds, and she can score the basketball also. And she's rebounding for you.
Right. In the second game against Mississippi Valley State, you won that game 67-46. That game never really in doubt. You led pretty much the whole way. Lyric Scott, again, another 19 points of the ball game. Also, Tanira Moore, another 19 points of the ball game, too.
Tanira, that was her first time starting in quite a while, but I mean, you saw the stats. She had 19 points, 15 rebounds. I mean, the kid can play, and she's just getting better and better. And she knows what she's doing now, and, you know, she's thinking and not just playing out there on the court. She knows what she's doing.
And you also had a defense, again, shut them down with only 30% shooting for UAPB.
Yeah, and
or for Met Valley, I mean.
Well, that's our main goal. We want to make these teams take tough shots and rebound the basketball. I thought we gave up one or two too many offensive boards, but other than that, we did a pretty good job defensively.
And Lyric Scott in the first half, 2 for 3 from downtown, three-pointers.
We need her to knock down some three-point shots, especially when teams start zoning us. I think she has to get her confidence back up. She can shoot the basketball, but, you know, it's about getting in the gym, getting your rhythm, and knocking them down game time.
Would you say, Coach, though, that this team is not really relies a lot on the three-pointers because you rely on the paint? You dominated against Valley in the paint on this game.
Yeah, and it's a little deceiving. Like I was saying a couple of weeks ago, it's not that you're throwing the ball down to a post player and we're scoring it every time. We get a lot of points in transition, you know, and scoring those points in the paint in transition, and that really helps us offensively.
Bench points, 39-22. I love your bench. You've got about, I would say, 7 to 8 players that can really start almost everywhere.
Yeah, and that's the strength of this team. I mean, we can go 11 deep if we need to.
Yeah.
And we have players that can play multiple positions. You know, one thing we got to do is stop putting people on the free throw line. You know, that can be our Achilles heel coming down the stretch.
That's right. You outscored them on the bench points, 39-22, and in the paint too. Dominant in the paint on this game, 32-19. You outscored them there.
Yeah, again, like I said, getting transition buckets and getting easy shots around the basket. That's going to help your offense look really good.
So, Coach, when do you look at it to where, okay, you tell them, okay, hey, this is tournament time, and it's, you know, not being necessarily number one, but the top 4 is big time if you can finish in that top 4 to host that first round game.
Yeah, you want to host a game, but we look at it as game by game. You know, the most important game is the next game. So we're looking at Alabama A&M. We finish playing them, we'll go on to Alabama State. And even us as coaches, that's how we look at it, step by step.
Now, against Alabama A&M coming up this Saturday, you faced them in Huntsville, Alabama before. What do you expect on this time around?
Well, they're going to play tough. They're going to be well prepared. Defensively, they're one of the better defensive teams in the league. So you're going to have to be picky with your offense and take good shots.
Then on Monday, it's Alabama State. Lady Jags lost in the Acadome, Joel Reed Acadome at Alabama State. So, and it's always tough. Coach Jack's always have her team ready.
I mean, one thing you know about it, she's a championship coach.
Yeah.
So she's going to have her team prepared and ready to go. And they're going to give you 100%. She has some really talented kids, some really talented young kids. So we're going to have to be on our A game when we play them.
And I'm so glad that as a broadcaster, I'm not by her, because if I said something she didn't like, she has the worst stare. She has a scary stare at you.
She is, but I mean, she's a really nice lady and a very good coach. Very good coach. She's been there for a long time, and like I say, she's won multiple championships.
And I haven't seen her coaching staff so far this year, but she seems to keep her assistants there for a long period of time.
She does. She has the same coaching staff she's had probably the last 7 or 8 years. So, I mean, they do a good job, and they're really good people.
So as we're coming down the stretch now, as we're getting down 3 home games left, 5 games total left, 3 home games, and then 2 games at the Texas Road Swing.
Right.
What do you look as far as want this team to improve as we're getting closer and closer to March Madness?
Well, like I said, we have to keep people off the free throw line. That's going to be big for us, and we got to play good defense and rebound the basketball. We can't give up second shots to teams. And what's always key is knocking down open shots. because we've been doing a good job of running our offense and getting good looks. We just have to knock them down.
Coach, and your defense, you got to be very proud of your defense. You put the full court press, even if you're ahead. A lot of times you'll put full court press in there. You got 2 players on 1 player bringing the ball down the court. And I saw the last game that I saw, there was a couple of times where it was a 10-second count.
Well, we want to apply pressure. On both ends of the court. We rebound the basketball. We want to push it and put pressure on them defensively. And then when they have the ball, we want to guard them. And we're so deep. Like I said, we can go 10, 11 players deep. So nobody has an excuse of being tired. You just give us 100% for 2 or 3 minutes, and then we can get a sub in for you.
And especially, too, what I like is, too, you got 2 point guards, but you can have several point guards. Scott O'Bear could be point guard,
but
point. You got Danielle Charles, it's your starting point guard. But when the Coco comes in, she does a good job as point guard.
Coco has had some great games. Danielle Charles, she's going to be tough defensively, run our offense. She's not a scorer like Coco is, but she knows her role. And, each and every player on this team has a role, and they know what that role is, and, they do whatever they can to make sure that they accomplish what we need to get a win that night.
What is she, 5'5"?
Well, she's bigger than you think she is. She's probably about 5'6".
5'6",
but she's strong.
She's not afraid to take it in the land of the Giants down to the paint for a layup.
Yeah.
I've seen her do that several times, and sometimes she didn't make it, and she gets knocked down, but still, she's not afraid.
She's going to take it in there. And like we said, we want to keep pressure on the defense. I think our 2 point guards, either one of them can start. So it's really not a starter there. We want them going downhill, attacking the basket, jump stopping, passing the ball to open shooters, that kind of thing. We want to put pressure on the defense.
Coach, good luck this week.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate
Alabama A&M starting at 3 o'clock on Saturday against the Lady Bulldogs. We want to see you at the F.G. Clark Activity Center. When we come back, we're talking men's basketball right here. It's overtime with Athletic Director Roman Dames. Back in a moment at Scoreboards Restaurant right here on Scoreboard. Right here in a moment, Pelican Sports TV.
The birth of legends are storied in this conference. We must never forget our rich history. We now turn our gaze to the future. The new legends will emerge. New heroes to arise. The Southwestern Athletic Conference. Be our history.
At Roadrunner Towing, we love our God, our children, our nation, and yes, our sports. So let's play ball. Score big when you need a tow, either in East Baton Rouge or West Baton Rouge. Because at Roadrunner Towing, we don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes.
Legendary Import Group. Exceptional service and a rare collection. You'll discover the only distinctive auto for the legend in you. We are legendary.
I am legendary.
I'm Team Legendary.
I am legendary.
I am legendary.
Now that's legendary. Stop by Legendary Import Group today, where our team is honored to serve you. We are legendary.
Legendary Import Group, the only place for legendary care.
The smart Baton Rouge business traveler travels out of Baton Rouge. Why? It's about not having to wake up hours earlier, fight traffic, and stand in long lines. It's also about BTR being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere your business takes you. It's smart. So for your business, if it's about being one step ahead and not dead on your feet, then it's about time you flew BTR. Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
I can't imagine a day without music.
You go downtown, you can find some music. You come uptown, you can find some music. Monday night, they got music. Every night of the week, there's music somewhere. Baton Rouge is a place where it's easy to make friends, it's easy to hear some music, and it's easy to come back. We got the music, we got the food, and we got good people. So with that combination, you can't lose, right? You ever come to Louisiana?
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's overtime with athletic director Roman Banks, right here from Scoreboard's Restaurant. Again, we want to remind you at 12 noon next Wednesday, we're going to be taping the show right here live at Scoreboard's Restaurant. All the coaches, Southern coaches will be here. Coach Roman Banks will be here. Obviously, Coach Dawson Odoms will be here as well. We're going to talk spring football too, and also recruiting. It's all going to be next week right here at 12 noon. So if you want to come eat lunch with the coaches, you can come on and do that. Also, we've got Uncle Ernie in the crowd, right, Coach?
Yeah, my uncle's from Indianapolis, Indiana, who's been with me ever since I was a kid as a mentor, man. Came down to check on me this week, and I'm so grateful for it. And I need him at a time like this, and I think he know it, so he came to check on his nephew.
I thought he was a recruit, man. This
He looked young, though. Yeah, hey, I don't know if I can tell the Jays. I'm going to tell it anyway. That's 60 years old right there and looking like he's 35.
Man, I thought he was a recruit. I'm thinking, look out, he's our point guard next year.
Hey, from behind you'd think he's Roman Banks. Both of them got to look bald heads. Look at
Unbelievable. Well, Coach, obviously, you know, either a young team or a team that's just getting acclimated to their coach, you can see the progress, and you can see where one half you play good, the next half you don't. It's either the first half you play great, second half you don't. Consistency. It's hard to get consistency going for two halves.
The major word, and I've been saying all year, is just sustain. You know, and you know, got a bunch of guys that's never been in that situation before. It's still new, and they're still figuring it out. But the constant that you can take from these guys is they're giving it every single night. And defensively, you know, if we could just score, we would beat a lot of people because we're holding people back. You know, halftime scores is 24-17. And so defensively, we're doing what we're supposed to do. Just offensively, there's no consistency there that we're trying to get. And I tell you what, there's some bright spots. Two guys that hadn't played very well, especially from a scoring standpoint, on Monday night was Alex Enos and Darius Johnson. Yep. Alex had 16 and 9. I think Darius Johnson had 13 and something. So, and ate the stat sheet up. So that was good. Now we need Sid to just be Sid and Aaron Ray to be Aaron Ray and Jaden Sadler to be Jaden Sadler. With the new guys that are kind of giving us some contribution, we might have something.
And in your first game against UAPB, you had your team, your starters play well, and your bench didn't play well. 10 points only from your bench. That's struggles.
That hurt us, you know. And you know, Jaden Sadler got in foul trouble, and you know what I'm saying, and we didn't just get anything. But you know, it's been a learning year for everybody. And but these guys, man, one thing I could say through all this, just trying to figure it out, that they're bringing it and giving me everything they got, and that's all you can ask for.
They are flying all over the place. I don't see any player that's given up on the game time and what have you, so I do see that as well. And in the second game against Mississippi Valley State, lost that game 70-59. In that game, your starters didn't play well, but your bench came out and played well.
I tell you what, man. Coach Banks and I talked about that this morning. You know, it's like a box of chocolate. You know, you just want to get a Hershey's, knowing what that Hershey's is going to taste like. But you know what though, it is what it is, man. And you know, we're still fighting and we're still clawing, and you know that's the main thing. We're showing character.
Right.
You know, and you find out about people when things ain't going right. You know, who's in your foxhole and things like that. And these guys, you know, we had another Come to Jesus meeting today just on appreciation. And you know, the thing about it is we're still turning people over 19 times a game. We're still defending and things like that. We just haven't been able to have a consistency on the offensive end, and that's kind of rare for situations like this.
And your bench points scored 49 points of your 59 points, all but 10 points. If the starters would have had any consistency in scoring, it would have been a victory at Mississippi Valley State.
Exactly.
49 points from your bench.
How about that?
That's unbelievable.
Hey, and all you do is you just continue to pick up your bootstraps, man, and continue to move forward, and that's what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Coach, with that, it's amazing about that. Right now, you're in 10th place, but you're only one game away from being in the tournament. So at this point in time, is there any point in saying to your team, we got a still chance to make the tournament? And with that, when you make tournament play, you're 0-0.
No doubt about it.
The whole season is
no doubt about it. And I think they're hungry. You know what I mean? They understand that. They're very disappointed, especially after Monday night's performance. And we had a little meeting today, and about appreciation and about being right there and overcoming adversity. And I feel real good about this coming week and this coming weekend. And hopefully we can just continue to build on what we talked about today, because these guys know that every team in this league is still scared to play us because they know it's not a tough out.
Right.
And we just got to continue to get better at not hurting ourselves. And once we do that, there's not a team in this league that we think that we can't beat.
5 games left. 3 of those are at home. And the next 2 of the 3 games are against opponents you're only 1 game away from. Alabama A&M and Alcorn State, and they're both on Saturdays. This Saturday, Alabama A&M. Next Saturday, Alcorn State. So it's right there, Coach, right there for the taking.
No doubt about it. And what type of gratification would that be through all this adversity to get that done, okay, and then be able to start 0-0 again.
That's right.
And now that's when everybody else becomes tight, and we have nothing to lose. So I kind of like that feeling a little bit. But we got to get there, though, and we got to take it 1 game at a time.
There's no doubt. I think that you will. You're going to turn this program around. We can see it. Coach Banks, a guy who's been a basketball coach for a long time, he can see it. That's why he picked you.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, we got everybody asked me, is the basketball team going to turn around? I said, oh, yes, with a capital Y-E-S, exclamation mark. There's no doubt. And like you said, same thing that happened at Valley. You get in here, you can't turn a team around. It's not your players. You can't turn around just like that. Like, for instance, Carlos Funches, Coach Sandy Pugh had a long time here at Southern. He and Coach Pugh worked that team together and built that team. You're brand new now, so I think that it's going to take, I think next year is going to be totally a different year, but I would love to see this team make the tournament.
Hey, we all do, and I think because their resiliency and not really giving in, especially from an effort standpoint, I think they deserve it, you know what I'm saying, some type of gratification from this year. And I think once we do get there, there's no telling what can happen.
All right. Now, your Uncle Ernie, is trying to get me to arm wrestle him. I'm not doing it.
Nah, that's not a good idea.
We'll be back with more of Overtime with Athletic Director Roman Banks here from Scoreboards on Coursey Boulevard. We'll be broadcasting next week at 12 noon on a Wednesday. We'll be back with Coach Banks right here. Coming up next, Pelican Sports TV.
Need to see a doctor fast? Lake Express Check-In lets you get in line online. Visit OLOLRMC.com/express to choose an estimated treatment time at one of our emergency room, urgent care, or physician office locations. A service of Our Lady of the Lake.
Legendary Import Group. Distinguished service and detailed attention. You'll discover the only distinctive auto for the legend in you. Stop by 10660 Coursey Boulevard or phone 225-960-1191.
It's game day. A day that should be spent in the living room, not the kitchen. So next game, you just worry about the score, because we've got the food covered. With hand-battered, cooked-to-order, always fresh, never ever frozen chicken fingers, craveable cane sauce, crispy crinkle-cut fries, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, official chicken of Southern University. One love.
out, buddies. You just can't lock them out, buddies. They'll make your day. Buddies, you can't deny them, buddies. You just can't buy them. Whatever comes your way, buddies are here to stay.
We're a nation of hardworking Americans, and businesses will always be the lifeline of this great country. As a business owner, you understand the importance of your reputation. In times of uncertainty, you need a real lawyer who's serious about protecting you and your business. You need a problem solver. You need the law firm of Clayton and Fruget. Tony Clayton is a proven trial lawyer. He'll defend you and your business to the fullest extent of the law. Protect your investment and call the law firm of Clayton and Fruget today.
This is your home, your car, and you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance.
Talk to State Farm agent Anna Jones in Baton Rouge today.
What's the most important aspect of event hosting? Location. This is something the Bell knew from day one. That's why we're located in downtown Baton Rouge, across from the convention center, close to LSU, and right by the river. So with a friendly staff, award-winning cuisine, and a massive conference center of 10 rooms and 24,000 square feet capable of fitting more than 2,000 guests, what we offer is just as important as where we are.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's overtime with Athletic Director Roman Banks right here from Scoreboards. And the 2019 SWAC Tennis West Roundup highlights plus a look at Southern University events and winter and spring sports coverage in this month's February make up this week's edition of Inside Southern Athletics. Take a look at it.
Head coach John Garrison and the Lady Jaguar softball team will take on Fairleigh Dickinson in a 3-game series this weekend. Year 2 of the Carrick Jackson era continues as the SU men's baseball team heads to Natchitoches, Louisiana to take on the Demons of Northwestern State in a 3-game weekend series. And then the Jaguars return home to Baton Rouge, Louisiana to take on the LSU Tigers at Alex Box Stadium February the 27th. Women's tennis, led by head coach Jeff Conyers, will host the 2019 SWAC West Tennis Roundup. The Lady Jaguars will take on the Hornets of Alabama State, the Lady Braves of Alcorn State, and the Lady Golden Lions of the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff at the University Courts on the campus of Southern University. Men's and women's basketball return home to the F.G. Clark Activity Center as the men's and women's basketball team host the Alabama A&M Bulldogs on February the 23rd and the Hornets of Alabama State on February the 25th. And that was your next 7 in Jaguar Athletics. Go Jags!
Yeah. All right, welcome back, everybody. First of all, we're getting the bread pudding right here.
Oh, the famous red pudding, huh?
Oh, my goodness. What's your name, darling?
I'm Krista.
Krista?
Yes.
Awesome. And she got a Southern jersey on.
Oh, yeah, she's sporting it tonight, huh?
Look at that. I like that. Congratulations. Good job. Hey, also give a big round of applause to the Southern women's track team for finishing 3rd in the SWAC indoor meet. How about that? Congratulations. Now it is time. Tiana, you have a question for Coach Banks?
We do. Miss Pernice actually has the question to ask Coach Banks.
Yes, Coach Banks. With us hosting LSU baseball this season, what does that mean to the athletic department?
I think that Southern and LSU is a friendly rivalry, and I think that we got the opportunity to go to their campus on this week, and then later in the year they'll be coming over to us, and I think that just proves the working relationship that we welcome at Southern University. And I think that it gives us a chance to bring a top-ranked opponent to our home campus. And so it gives our fan a chance to show how much spirit we have in supporting our team, where they can come out and really show the appreciation of the type of team that we're bringing to the campus and try to cheer us on for a victory. So I think it's important that as we invite these type of programs to our campus, that we need to come out and to the games and cheer our guys on and show Jaguar Nation, show the sports world how we come out to games.
All right, good job, good question. And one of those games will be on ESPN, is that correct?
Yes, at home, at our place. We'll be on ESPN, in which we're fortunate, like I said earlier, for them to come over and engage in a contest with us where we can get some national attention as well. And so I think that Coach Jackson's doing a good job with the team, and I think that the game is going to be very competitive.
No question about that. Now, will the tickets, I'm sure they're on sale now, so if the grandstands sell out, will there be extra added bleachers put in?
Well, we are not quite we're standing room overflow.
Right.
So we had an area for standing room overflow, not really seating. And so we're creating some other excitement for kids, the bouncy house and other things as it relates to making our game day experience enjoyable for the kids as you bring them out there. And we're looking at, running bases before and after the game and doing some things that I just think that you're supposed to do to create that excitement and that atmosphere for your athletic events.
No doubt about that. That'll be a fun game, no doubt about that. So that's why also, too, now we're going to play at LSU next Wednesday, and that's why we're going to have the game here at 12 noon. That is right here next Wednesday. We're going to have the show at 12 noon next Wednesday. We're going to tape
right
the show.
Here.
And then all at scoreboards, and it's on course. If you've never been here, it's right in between Airline and Sherwood. And if you're coming from Sherwood, it is to your right. Coming from Airline Highway, it'll be to your left.
Oh, they just stopped right here. Oh,
What?
steak night
What?
tonight, huh?
Now this is what you're
My
telling me.
gosh.
That we were going to have out here. This was a surprise. You
The
didn't tell me
ultimate surprise. Last week it was crawfish.
Yes.
And tonight is a nice ribeye steak.
Wow! Look at those potatoes, the garlic bread, and with this, like my
How
grandmother
much longer
used to
this
say,
show? How much longer we got?
Oh man! What? Put the toilet paper in the ice box. This is going to be good. That
Yes,
is
it is.
delicious. Look at that. And that also, and they've got, like you said, mud bugs here. They've got this here, and they've got the steak night on Thursdays. Thursday night steak night.
Thursday night steak night. We happen to get ours first.
Oh!
24 hours earlier.
I will gladly be the test round.
Yeah,
on this.
no question about it.
All right, that's going to do it, man. I'll tell you what, we've had a fun time here, and no question about that. Next week again, 12 noon, we're going to be right here. All the coaches will be here, so you need to come on by and get this here to the coaches, and you can have lunch with the coaches. Dawson Odoms will be here next week. He's going to recap the 2019 signing class and preview football. Also, we'll talk to 2 senior basketball players as well. That is right here. Plus, Matthew Valeri of Care South. He is one of the big sponsors of all Southern athletics, and he does a great job for sponsoring Southern athletics.
He really does. And once again, that's the type of relationship that we're creating in the community. And his jump shot not too bad either. He played in the game the other night, in the celebrity game. So a jump shot, but he came to my office the next day, and he wasn't walking very well. He was sore. He was sore. So these guys got to get in shape for next year.
No question.
But we are
about
very
that.
excited about him coming on the show, and obviously this is what this show all about. It's about our not only just inside our department with our coaches, but also the alumni, the booster club, the season ticket holders, the fans, the kids, and I just think that we have a brand that's untouchable, and we want to show the world our brand, and that's the reason why this show is so important, and that's the reason why we need to continue to support this show and other events for the athletic department.
And hats off to Pelican Sports, not only radio and TV, but radio. Tommy Kreisa and I did the play-by-play and the color analyst for the LSU,
really good. Really
at
good.
LSU for Southern and
really good.
Air Force. Yeah,
we
enjoyed
might
that.
be on to something here.
Yeah, I tell you, that was a lot of fun to do
Really
that, to
good.
work with
TJ,
Tommy
really good,
Kreisa.
man. We got to throwing you a bone out there a little
Yes,
bit.
indeed. That was a lot of fun. And then also, too, to promote this show right here that promotes Southern Jaguar Athletics on Pelican Sports TV every week.
Well, and also it speaks to people see value in Southern University. And so we've been doing some things with them since I've taken over the athletic director. And they are pushing us and want to engage in more. And so this idea of this show was a great idea that we all came to the table to speak upon, and it happened. And I just appreciate them for giving us this opportunity.
That's right. And then for every week, so the thing that we got to do every week is try this delicious bread pudding right here.
No question
That's
about
just
it.
swimming in the sauce. And that is just,
Can we eat dessert before we eat the steak?
I don't know, but that's good.
Well, I'm going to jump right on in here.
I'm assuming they're calling it the Roman Banks bread pudding now, right?
Overtime series bread pudding. We got Overtime Live coming as well.
That's right. Also, hey, they have boiled seafood here on Wednesday nights when we are here, too.
Well, you see everyone in the back, they getting those boiled crabs and shrimp, and so they're having a good time. I think that's a hit, and people come out to enjoy those boiled crabs. I think that last week I jumped in them, and they were really good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt about that. And then obviously, too, first time I get a steak, man, that's pretty nice. I've been hungry for a steak, and you bring it out. I had no idea. You threw me a curveball on that.
It's on the house.
Oh, my goodness. That even makes it better. That even makes it better. So as we are having this again next week, we want to remind you again, 12 noon next Wednesday, all the coaches will be here eating. An opportunity for you to get hand in hand, close with the coaches. You can eat right across the table from your favorite coach.
Yeah, so all the athletic department, all the coaches and staff will be here Wednesday at noontime to enjoy the show. For our fans to come over, eat lunch with us, get a chance to take pictures, mingle, ask personal questions, and then hopefully that we all later on that evening can end up on the campus of LSU.
That's right, and not many programs do that, where you get to go and see the coaches and talk to them like that.
Yeah, and also I'm looking forward to Saturday that we're having a spaghetti dinner with AD Roman Banks and the other coaching staff for our season ticket holders for men's basketball, men and women basketball. And that's going to be the halftime during the men's game. And so we're doing a lot to make sure that we're showing people our appreciation.
And I'm glad you brought that up again. I want to remind you again, the A&M game starts at 3 p.m. from FG Clark Activity Center. The Lady Jaguars will take on the Lady Bulldogs. They're in first place in the SWAC conference, and they got to be able to secure that first seed. That would be big. And then 30 minutes after that game, the men's team will take on Alabama A&M. And how big is that, Coach? We mentioned 2 of the 3 opponents, the last home games, were only a game behind them as far as the conference tournament goes.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of confidence in this men's basketball team and Coach Woods that hopefully that we can rally and get ourselves into the tournament. I think that, if we get ourselves into the tournament, I think that you will call this year a success for us. And obviously we want to build on that, and we expect to win championships at the end of the day.
No question. All right, we hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Overtime with Athletic Director Roman Banks. We'll be here again next week, 12 noon, right here from Scoreboard's Restaurant on Pelican Sports TV.